noticed how today there's not so many kids playing in the parks, and there's not so many kids going to the gym or doing things outside or getting exercise? And it's a big epidemic. It's a big problem that we have in the world, and especially here in the United States. And what I'm going to talk about today is my presentations on childhood obesity. And as you can see, I put a picture up here of a child eating a hamburger. We all love hamburgers, right? And I'd like to start off talking about BMI. What is BMI? And BMI, from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, it's a government agency. It stands for Body Mass Index. And the BMI is a number calculated from a person's weight and height. Okay, and they use the BMI to determine whether your body weight and your body mass, if it can cause problems for you in the future, especially with children. And I found a good article it's called sparkpe.org. And it's called Child Obesity Research Studies and Facts. It's just a little article that shows a bunch of facts on childhood obesity. And one of the slides that I want to show you guys is about the BMI. Okay, and for children, 30 or higher means you're obese. If you have a BMI, a body mass index of 30 or higher, you're obese. Okay, and you can tell if you look here, from 1976 to 1980, sorry, let me explain this. This is children, this is parents. And you look at how it's increased from the 70s all the way to 2000, it's grown. And it's grown even more than that today, from 2000 to 2008. It's grown almost 30% since the 70s. Okay? And a couple facts here that I have. The childhood obesity has tripled in the past 30 years. And in 1980, 6 to 11-year-olds, approximately 6.5% were obese. And in 2008, it's gone up 3 times that. It's at 19.6%. And toddlers as well as preschool-age children, it's gone up from 5% up to 12.4%. And one thing that they've found is that parents, if your parents are obese, if both of them are overweight, you as a child, you have a better chance of being overweight in the future. So parents, it's important that parents obviously keep their weight down or try to keep their weight down. The next slide I want to show you is there's complications of obesity. There's a bunch, I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see the arrows are pointing to the whole body, okay? Not just one part of the body. So especially if you're obese as a child, starting young, your organs start to feel the effects. And as you grow up to be an adult, obviously it's going to be even worse. And some of the conditions that I found on this sparkpe.org article were heart disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, gallbladder disease, and asthma. And a couple of them, I mean all of them, if you're obese as a child, the potential to have these diseases is so much greater than if you're fit and healthy and if you're doing exercises. And I'd like to go next to the next slide. A few reasons why children today are more obese than they were back in the day. And one article I found from foxnews.com is food ads. And they did a study on food ads, and they took 5 children that were just regular weight and 5 children that were obese. And they did these food ad studies, and they showed these commercials of food. And they measured their brain. And their brains acted differently. The children that were obese, they had a more positive response, which means they were more affected by the food ads. And the ones that were more in shape, they were less affected. And a couple other reasons here real quick. Obviously kids are playing more video games nowadays. and they're watching more TV. Plus, the computer doesn't help. The internet's not a good thing as far as keeping kids indoors. And in conclusion, I'd just like to sum up that these are the typical reasons why children are obese today, and mainly we can see it's TV and video games and food ads, and they need to get out and do more. Get outside.